If Big Brother had a corporate headquarters, it might look a lot like Palantir Technologies. This is the company that turns data into dominance, working behind the scenes with intelligence agencies, law enforcement, and Fortune 500 giants. Their mission? To see patterns no one else can, and maybe see a little too much. Welcome back, conspiracy theorists and career voyeurs. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most secretive tech firms in the world. How did Palantir become the go-to tool for governments and corporations that want to know everything? What's it like to work inside a company that deals in digital omniscience? And most importantly, how much does all this surveillance actually pay? Let's find out. So how does Palantir actually make money? Well, imagine if your nosy neighbor who peeks through your windows started charging government agencies and Fortune 500 companies for detailed reports about your life. Now imagine that neighbor has a PhD from Stanford in software that can predict what you'll eat for breakfast next Tuesday. Palantir's bread and butter is creating sophisticated data analysis platforms with names that sound like they were pulled straight from a spy thriller, Gotham and Foundry. Gotham isn't just Batman's hometown anymore. It's the platform that helps intelligence agencies connect the dots between terrorist networks faster than your aunt connects random celebrities on Facebook. Meanwhile, Foundry helps corporations analyze their data so efficiently that the CEO can finally figure out which employee keeps stealing K-cups from the break room. What makes Palantir unique isn't just their software, it's their forward-deployed engineers who embed themselves in client organizations like corporate spies with better health benefits. These tech wizards don't just drop off software and say good luck figuring this out. They move in, set up shop, and become so integrated that after 6 months, people start inviting them to family barbecues. For this white glove service, Palantir charges millions, sometimes hundreds of millions per contract. That's right, they're essentially the world's most expensive IT support, except instead of asking if you've tried turning it off and on again, they're teaching the CIA how to track suspicious Amazon purchases across 5 continents. And boy, is business booming. From humble beginnings with CIA seed funding, nothing suspicious there, Palantir grew to a public company worth over $30 billion. That's enough money to buy everyone in America a tinfoil hat, which ironically might be their only defense against Palantir's technology. Palantir doesn't waste time with small fry. Their client roster reads like a roll call at a who's who of people who can make you disappear convention. Intelligence agencies like the CIA, FBI, and NSA who need help sorting through petabytes of data to find that one guy who Googled how to build a bomb non-ironically. Military organizations including the US Army, Navy, and Special Operations Command who use Palantir to coordinate operations so classified that even mentioning them probably puts you on a watch list. Law enforcement agencies who want to predict crime before it happens, essentially turning Minority Report from dystopian sci-fi to Tuesday at the office. Financial institutions who need to detect fraud faster than their executives can say, hypothetically speaking, is this technically illegal? Healthcare organizations analyzing patient data to improve outcomes, and definitely not to figure out which sick people are most profitable. Wink. The most fascinating part, many of Palantir's government contracts are so secretive that not even Congress knows the full details. It's like paying someone to clean your house, but not being allowed to know which rooms they're entering or what cleaning products they're using. Just trust us. We'll make those pesky civil liberties stains disappear. Hey folks, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the digital surveillance industrial complex, smash that subscribe button harder than Palantir smashes privacy concerns. And don't worry, clicking subscribe only adds you to about 7 different watch lists. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming about how data is the new oil, except the drilling happens in your personal information. Palantir employs a unique breed of tech worker. Imagine if Silicon Valley engineers and Pentagon analysts had a baby that was raised by both Sherlock Holmes and HAL 9000. At the bottom of the ladder are the forward-deployed engineers, brilliant code jockeys who could have worked anywhere in tech, but chose the one place where "I can't talk about my day" is an acceptable response to every dinner table conversation for the rest of their lives. Above them are product managers who translate government spook speak into actual software requirements, essentially playing telephone between people who say national security threat and people who say we need to refactor this database schema. Then come deployment strategists who are just consultants who traded their Brooks Brothers suits for Patagonia vests and the ability to casually drop "when I was at the embassy" in redacted into conversations. Directors manage major client relationships, which means they've mastered the art of nodding reassuringly while a general explains why they need to track every person who's purchased both fertilizer and pressure cookers in the last decade. At the top sits the executive team team led by CEO Alex Karp, a literal philosopher king with wild hair who looks like Einstein's cooler nephew and probably knows what's in your Amazon cart right now. The most hilarious part isn't the security clearances, it's how their office culture somehow combines extreme secrecy with Silicon Valley perks. Imagine being escorted through biometric security to reach a floor with free kombucha on tap and motivational posters that might as well say, keep calm and monitor everyone. The cognitive dissonance is so strong, you could power a small city with it. Now for everyone's favorite part, the money. Palantir compensation packages are like those classified documents with black marker redactions everywhere, except the only thing not redacted is the number of commas in your salary. Entry-level engineers, $180,000 to $220,000. Sounds impressive until you calculate the per-hour rate based on national security emergencies that somehow always happen at 2 a.m. on a Saturday. Mid-level deployment strategists, $250,000 to $450,000. Just enough to afford a nice apartment in Palo Alto where you can stare anxiously at the ceiling, wondering if you're the good guys or the bad guys in the techno-thriller you're living in. Senior engineers and product managers, $500,000 to $800,000. Now we're talking. This is second home territory, though you'll only visit it when you need to hide from that foreign intelligence agency that keeps sending you LinkedIn requests. Directors, $900,000 to $1.5 million. At this point, your kids think you work for the men in black, and honestly, they're not that far off. Your spouse has stopped asking what you do and just nods understandingly when you mumble database stuff. Executives, $2 million to $30 million plus. These are the people who have emergency evacuation plans for their emergency evacuation plans. Their homes have panic rooms with better amenities than five-star hotels. The most intriguing part of Palantir's compensation structure isn't just the cash, it's the stock options that turned early employees into the kind of wealthy that means you're suddenly invited to fundraisers where senators remember your name. Some early engineers made so much money they could buy their own surveillance satellites, which would be ironic if it weren't so terrifying. Palantir's culture is what you'd get if you combined a patriotic military contractor, a Silicon Valley startup, and that one friend who's a little too into conspiracy theories. Their offices feature open floor plans for collaboration alongside SIF rooms, sensitive compartmented information facilities where what happens in the SIF stays in the SIF, not because of Vegas rules, but because of federal law. The company was founded post-September 11th with a mission to prevent terrorist attacks, which gives employees the unique ability to simultaneously feel like they're saving the world and possibly enabling an Orwellian nightmare. It's cognitive dissonance as a career path. As one employee put it, sometimes I wonder if I'm working for the Justice League or the Legion of Doom, but the free snacks and stock options help me sleep at night. Palantir's internal mantras include Save the Shire and We're on the side of the angels, which is exactly what you'd expect from a company named after a magical surveillance device that corrupted its users. Nothing suspicious there. The most fascinating cultural quirk, new hires go through Palantir boot camp where they learn company history, technical skills, and presumably how to avoid answering questions at family gatherings. What do you do? Data stuff. What kind of data? The kind we don't talk about at Thanksgiving. For a company built on finding patterns, Palantir has established quite a pattern of its own, finding itself at the center of controversies faster than its algorithms can spot suspicious behavior. Their work with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, to track and deport immigrants led to employee protests and public outrage. Turns out, even tech workers have limits to what they'll help build, especially when it might involve separating families faster than you can say ethical considerations. Privacy advocates view Palantir the way mice view owls, with terror and the knowledge that being spotted means game over. The company's technology has been described as mass surveillance on a budget, which is both terrifying and oddly cost-effective. They've been accused of everything from enabling predictive policing, which disproportionately targets minorities, to helping governments track activists and journalists, allegations they deny, with the careful precision of someone who knows exactly which emails of yours contain embarrassing Google searches. Co-founder Peter Thiel's close relationship with President Trump added another layer of political intrigue, making Palantir not just controversial, but partisan in some eyes. It's the tech world equivalent of finding out your neighborhood watch captain also runs a private detective agency specializing in divorce cases, technically legal, but definitely raising eyebrows. For those who make it at Palantir, the rewards are substantial. Beyond the compensation, employees get to solve complex problems that genuinely affect national security and global business operations. It's like being in a spy movie, except instead of jumping out of planes, you're jumping between database tables, and the only explosion is when the office coffee machine breaks down during a deadline. However, the ethical weight can be heavy. As one former employee noted, at Palantir, you trade your moral certainty for the chance to work on world-changing technology. It's like making a deal with a very sophisticated devil who promises your work will make the world safer but never specifies for whom. Turnover rate tells its own story. Many leave after 2 to 4 years, citing reasons ranging from "I'd like to talk about my work at dinner parties again" to "I've started having nightmares about drowning in data." Some exit to start their own companies, armed with skills that make regular software engineering look like building a Lego set compared to constructing the Death Star. That's our peek behind the curtain at Palantir Technologies. Next time, we'll explore another high-stakes profession where people trade ethical certainty for impressive resumes and the ability to make their parents simultaneously proud and confused. Until then, remember, the best job is one where you don't have to worry that your work laptop is analyzing your keystrokes to determine if you're a security risk. Oh, and if you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of high-tech surveillance, hit that subscribe button faster than Palantir can determine your political affiliations based on your pizza delivery history. We've got plenty more career deep dives coming your way that will make your data privacy concerns absolutely reasonable by comparison. See you next time.
Okay.